Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you all my TG Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile for May 2019. Wanted to do an update to this deck. I think it's been quite some time since my last TG deck profile, if I've even ever done one, but big thanks to my friend Anthony for helping me out with the deck profile. He actually provided the deck for the video today. It's a really fun deck. The whole point with the new TG Link Monster is to just special summon out a bunch of different of the Synchro Monsters for the TG deck, and we have plenty of new support as well that really does help out the deck in total. I tried to stick with as pure of a TG deck. There's a little bit of extra monster support just to help spam out some of the monsters more for your plays. But other than that, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So for the TG monsters, I run 3 TG Screw Serpent. If this card is normal or special summon, you can target one level 4 or lower TG monster in your graveyard except for Screw Serpent and special summon that monster, but its effects are negated. And you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one TG monster you control, increase or reduce its level by 1 until the end of this turn. You can only use each effect of Screw Serpent once per turn. So you have the special summon option available to you with this card, but you also have that level adjustment, which having a very specific amount of TG monsters with different levels definitely does help just when you need that specific one for the synchro you want to go for. So 3 of this card definitely does come in handy for sure. I also run 3 TG Tank Grub. With this one, it's one of your tuners. If this card you control is used as synchro material for a TG monster, you can treat it as a non-tuner. And if this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material for a TG monster, you can special summon one TG token, Machine Earth level 1 with 0 attack and defense in attack position. You can only use this effect of Tank Grub once per turn. So you have that option just for the fact that it could be a non-tuner. Definitely does help when you have your already needed tuner on the field, but also being able to give you that token for additional plays can especially help for the extra deck monsters you may need to go for. I also run 3 TG Booster Raptor. This is, we've all had a bunch of new ones, like I said, that very much helped the deck out. With Booster Raptor, if you control a TG monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon Booster Raptor once per turn this way. And once per turn during the end phase of this card is in the graveyard because it was destroyed on the field and sent there this turn, you can add one TG monster from your deck to your hand except for Booster Raptor. So more search like some of the other TGs, which we'll get to in a bit. I also like the fact that Booster Raptor is a dinosaur, meaning that we have the Fossil Dig option to search out this card, and also allows for Miscellaneousaurus plays in the deck to be used for special summoning from the graveyard with that card. Also, for the fact that it's a level 1, makes for a very easy summon at that. For the other TG monsters, I run 3 TG Werewolf. Decide to stick with the monsters that I think are still the best and most consistent with the new ones we have. Werewolf, especially when a level 4 or lower is special summon, you can special summon this card from your hand. And during the end phase of this turn, if this card on the field was destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can add one TG monster from your deck to your hand except Werewolf. Some more search, but also just an easy special summon with your other TG monsters onto the field. So one of the big reasons why I like to run this card at 3 still as well. And the same goes for the final TG monster I run, TG Striker. If your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. And during the end phase of this turn, if this card on the field was destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can add one TG monster from your deck to your hand except Striker. That easy special summon, especially if you're going second, definitely does come in handy for the fact that this is also a tuner and allows us plenty of options with the other TG monsters we run. The most important being the fact that we want to get our Link monster out, which is Trident Launcher, since it's the most important setup for our synchro plays especially. And then for the non-TG monsters, was debating on which ones I wanted to run, but I decided to go with the 3 Reborn Tengu. This card was always helpful with the deck, but the fact that it just keeps your resources going with your Tengus, especially helpful for sure in the deck, so I just like to run 3 of this. For more Monster Swarm and the fact that it's a tuner, I also like the 3 Red Resonator in the deck. When it's normal summon, you can special summon one level 4 or lower monster from your hand, and when this card is special summoned, you can target one face-up monster on the field and gain life points equal to its attack. Just that field swarm with your other TG monsters, because of the fact that you need 2 or more FEC monsters to make it, including a TG tuner. So if you at least have Red Resonator, another TG, and then another one that has a tuner, you have your go-to monsters to go into your Trident Launcher. And then just for some of the one-ofs, I have the one Miscellaneousaurus in the deck. I know that's back up at 3, but if you wanted to bump it up to 2, you can remove some of the other monsters. I like it just for the, not so much for the protection, you can use it for that, but also for the banish and the graveyard to special summon a dinosaur monster from your deck. So you have that option with the TG Booster Raptor for the fact that it is a dinosaur type monster in the deck. Also, for just additional one-ofs, I run one Jet Synchron and one Jirac Aolo. Another dinosaur option available to you if need be with Miscellaneousaurus. Jet Synchron is just another option, level 1. Same with Glow Up Bulb for just more tuner options because you have plenty of the non-effect monsters, especially also with Tank Grub being the optional non-tuner as well. Having these as your opted tuners to go for, especially with the easy special summon from Glow Up Bulb, definitely does come in handy with the graveyard. And then to finish off the monsters, just 2 Effect Veiler. It's just that additional hand trap that you can run along with your other cards. If you didn't want to run the last one-ofs, you can even opt in for Ash Blossoms. It's another tuner spot, but also just an additional hand trap option available to you to go with the Effect Veilers in the deck. And that is it for the monsters. Moving on to the spells. I run 3 Fire Formation Tenki. This is just an easy search for your TG Warwolf, since you can add a Beast Warrior. So there's your search right there for this card. So very, very helpful with that search in the deck. And the same goes for the Fossil Digs, depending on how many Miscellaneousaurus you want to run, but also for the fact that it can search out your Booster Raptor, and it's an easy special summon. If you control TG monsters, you can have all your monsters searched out and ready to go very, very quickly with your Fossil Digs also. And I also run 2 Call by the Grave. I have 2 in here. If I were to run a third one, I would more than likely take out one of the Fossil Digs, since you don't really need as many search options available to you if you did want to run the third spell just for extra protection. But the search definitely does come in handy since we have 2 different search targets available also. And I also run the 1 Foolish Burial, just graveyard setup, especially Glow Up Bulb, giving us that 1 additional tuner option with the deck to go for. And I also run 1 1-for-1, just plenty of level 1 monsters in the deck to get out, so just additional special summon options there. And I also run the 1 Reinforcements of the Army for our warrior option, being the TG Striker to search out. And lastly, just for additional special summons, I run 1 Living Fossil and 1 Monster Reborn. Special summon options from the graveyard to reuse our monsters for more and more plays. They could be those extenders that we needed just for the fact that we could be going into those monsters very, very quickly. So having these special summon options to gain the additional monster definitely does come in handy. And that is it for the main deck. We'll now move on to the extra. I have 2 TG Trident launchers. This one, like I said, is your main link to go for the fact that its arrows set up your, basically your plays to get out your big monster, which is Halberd Cannon. And also, if this card is link summon, you can special summon 3 TG monsters, 1 from your hand, 1 from your deck, and 1 from your graveyard in defense position to zones this card points to. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except for TG monsters, and you can only use this effect of Trident Launcher once per turn, and your opponent cannot target TG Synchro Monsters this card points to with card effects. So the reason it gives you that easy special summon, but also for the fact that you need the 2 Synchros and the 1 Synchro Tuner to get out your big Synchro Monster. Halberd Cannon is with the perfect reason for these arrows set up for your Trident Launcher. And then for the other Link monsters, I also run 1 Borosword Dragon and 1 Landfornicus. This just for the fact that we run so many different attributes and types in this deck, just to have those arrows available to us definitely does come in handy with Landfornicus. And Borosword, you can get plenty of additional monsters out, so just having this as a big finisher definitely does come in handy as well. And I also run 4 Synchros, 2 TG Star Guardian. You need 1 tuner and 1 non-tuner TG monster to make this. Once per chain during your opponent's main phase, you can quick effect immediately after this effect resolves. Synchro summon using this card you control. You can only use the following effects of Star Guardian once per turn. If this card is special summon, you can target 1 TG monster in your graveyard and add to your hand. And during your main phase, you can special summon 1 TG monster from your hand. So being able to recycle back and also have that special summon option definitely does come in handy. What I also like is just it's another option for the tuner, since it's a level 5 5 tuner to go for with your other monsters, with them being the Hyper Librarian, which I also run 2 of. This is draw power when you synchro summon, having those options open. If you can go for Librarian first with Trident Launcher, then get your other ones. You just keep the draws consistently coming out for your deck. And then I also run the 1 Recipro Dragonfly. This is a level 2 Synchro Monster. It's not a tuner, but you just have that option to go into this card with all the different level 1s we run, and just an easy one that you need for your other cards, basically for the fact that you'll have like Hyper Librarian, Recipro, and also your more than likely either Star Guardian or Wonder Magician out in the field. And this is your go into Halberd Cannon right here, with this card being the tuner synchro you use. And then just for additional ones, the 1 Wonder Magician comes in handy when you need it for the plays, and when you can use it along with the other one, TG Blade Blaster. If you don't go into Halberd Cannon, this one also needs 1 tuner Synchro Monster and 1 non-tuner Synchro Monster, so a pretty powerful card at that as well. I also run the 1 TG Halberd Cannon. This is just another beefed up Synchro to go for. If you don't have the Quasar play, this is your next best card to get out on the field. And then for more generics, I run the 1 Stardust Charge Warrior, the 1 Formula Synchron, and the 1 Borreload Savage Dragon. Just easy special summon and draw power. You have the draw power with this as well, plus the fact that it's also a tuner synchro. And Borreload Savage Dragon, if you get it at late game, just having Trident Launcher for that option definitely does come in handy to equip it onto it and gain a good amount of attack, plus plenty of counters also. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And I'm also planning on getting out an Assault Mode version of the deck with Halberd Cannon, so definitely look forward to that version also. But until next time, Kira Twig out.